Coming up on Rescue You, presented by GreaterGood.org, college kids are out to save the animals.
It's a lot of backbreaking work, but I mean, all the differences that's being made, it's really going to be a great thing after we leave.
Hi, I'm Liz Baker, Executive Director of GreaterGood.org, and this is Greater Good Presents Rescue You.
And I'm dreaming of my home.
These college kids give up their time with their friends, time with their families, their school vacation to come out to shelters in different locations, in different communities, and they inspire us all.
This is a historical town. A lot of the buildings are turn of the century. We are kind of a tourism town. We are one of the most historical cities in Oklahoma. Some of the architecture is just absolutely gorgeous. We still have brick streets on a few of our streets in town. Then we have the Stables restaurant, which has been here since the turn of the century and was at that time actually a stable, and now is probably the favorite barbecue place in town.
Hello, Fat Pat. Hello, baby. Hello, I know.
People in shelters are not always bad people. They're usually people who care about what happens to the animals. Everyone that works here wants these guys to go to a new home. That's what we strive for. We can do that with your help. If you spay and neuter your animals and confine them, maybe you'll put me out of a job. What a great idea that would be. At noon, they started the tornado warnings. We knew that there was going to be a storm that night. The next thing I knew, the sirens went off, and we went to our Freddy hole or basement and stayed for about 10 minutes. The tornado came through. We came out, and then I came out here, headed out to the shelter, and there were dogs everywhere. The fences were destroyed. One building was gone. The gas lines were broken and there was gas everywhere. We started capturing the dogs, and really I don't think we realized just how bad it was hit for probably about 10 minutes before, we really looked at the building. The one building was about 2/3 gone, just a wall, basically one wall left standing. We had 64 animals inside at the time. We did lose a cat out of the cages. They were strewn about the driveway, most of which were open. Cats were just in there just completely freaked out. For us it was really personal because those are our animals. I mean, we really take care of them. And so it was kind of like breaking in our house in a way. It felt very violated, and the realization that it was gone and what were we going to do to take care of them became pretty real pretty quickly. The FEMA money is probably going to pay for maybe half the building. we just felt like there was no way we would ever be able to do it. I mean, it just seems insurmountable at the time. Feeling rather discouraged, and we had quite a few animals in the shelter, and I received a call from the Pet Finder Foundation that said that I had been given this opportunity for GreaterGood to come and to do all these things.
And you would have thought that we were Ed McMahon showing up on Susie's door. She was so excited, I can't even tell you. I literally can't tell you because, you know, she was just so shocked. The profanity that came out of her mouth would shock a sailor. So it was really funny. She was overwhelmingly excited, just almost thought it was too good to be true kind of a thing. GreaterGood is all about education, rehabilitation, and helping out animal shelters. We take college students from all over the country, bring them to animal shelters, and train them on issues from anywhere from sanitation and how to run a shelter where you're keeping the animals mentally healthy and physically healthy and happy. And then basically we just try to make the shelter people's lives a little bit easier, you know, by fixing up their shelters so that their day in and day out life is as smooth as possible so they can focus on what's important, which is taking care of the animals.
I was so shocked that I think I probably asked her 3 or 4 times, you know, are you kidding? Are you kidding? It's come to fruition. It is unbelievable. You know, it gives you faith in the young people and their abilities and their desire to do the right thing by the animals. And I'm just floored.
And I'm dreaming of my home.
That building behind you guys was left completely intact. This building here is actually new construction. This building houses the office and it was their cattery. They were able to get some FEMA money to rebuild the outer shell structure and do some stuff on the inside. The FEMA money wasn't enough, so we're here to help them do this. I know this is your vacation time, but you know, you're here for a reason, and that's to get this shelter done.
Well, this New Year's I was in Oklahoma. Rocking out with my GreaterGood people. It makes me feel good, and I think it makes other people, the community, you know, all the animals, it makes them feel good too. So it's just like one of those all-around happy, you know, like warm, fuzzy feeling kind of things.
GreaterGood has changed my life because it's given me the opportunity to help other people hands-on and actually see the effects of what I'm doing, experience what people go through in different areas, understand why they do things and what they need help with, and spread the word, educate other people.
This is a house the city purchased. It's at the end of the airport runway and was used for storage. And we're very grateful to the city that they had it because it gave us a place to put the animals. It's a little primitive, but we're getting our new shelter and I'm so excited. Our cages are all broken.
Because of the tornado?
Because of the tornado. These were actually in the building that was hit by the tornado. Kind of hard to open. It was amazing, but half these doors were open and they were still in their cages. They were terrified in the back.
They all need a home, regardless of where it is. They need a home, a good home, someplace that's warm and safe.
I've always been a big animal advocate, and that's pretty much where I do a lot of my volunteering, and it makes me feel good. The animals need an advocate too.
We're saving animals. This little piece of metal makes a difference. I love the animals, and it feels really good to help out the community that needs it.
I've been together with some of these kids for 4 or 5 New Years in a row.
Wow, they keep coming back.
Gluttons for punishment.
Now that I've had this New Year's, I couldn't think of any other way to spend my New Year.
Really can't describe it. You got to experience it.
Yeah, it's indescribable. The way, like the feeling you get just watching it go from nothing to this is really something special.
Guys, we have so much to do. We are so behind schedule, which is pretty much business as usual for us on, our last day. I need you guys to be able to multitask like rock stars, okay? We are making some more puppy pens. They're actually stringing the gates for all of our new exercise pens today and finishing that monstrosity of a steel building.
Well, you only have till sundown. Do you think you're going to make it?
Woo, it's going to be a push, but we've never missed a deadline yet, and I don't want to start here, so we'll make it, definitely. Here, 5:30, we're losing light. We do have work lights. The kids don't like working in the dark, but I think last night was probably the worst. We had every car we've got fired up with the lights on the jobs. We had lights everywhere we could put them, but it's brutal doing this stuff in the dark. You got to be really careful. It's a fine line you walk between getting it done and making sure nobody gets hurt.
Miss Susie, the animal rescue site wants to give you $10,000 to use towards vetting and food and whatever you need for your critters.
Oh my God. Yay! We're truly grateful. All right, lady, I think we got this place as cleaned up as it's gonna be. I'm sorry if there's any mess. You're probably gonna be digging metal and stuff out of here forever, but I hope it helps you out. I love you, baby. Thank you so much for letting us come and help you out. We really loved being here. It's awesome.
Well, hopefully it'll make your life a little bit easier.
It will. It's beautiful. The animals are going to have the sun off of them and the rain off of them. I have a cat enclosure, which is going to be the coolest thing. They've built a meet and greet area. It's absolutely the coolest thing. I have a big thank you to the animal rescue site, Pet Finder Foundation, Rescue You, all these kids. You couldn't have done any more if you'd imagined the world for us.
And I'm dreaming of my home.
The Luzerne County SPCA in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania got in contact with the Rescue You program through the Pet Finder Foundation because they were having issues with their kennels not meeting dog law standards. They had crumbling paint on the insides of their kennels, which is obviously not going to be acceptable for dogs who are going to lick, tear, and chew at anything they can get their paws and teeth on. But they had definite shelter issues with storage and space utilization, but mainly the kennels were the big problem for them. When Rescue You gave Luzerne a call and told them that we would be able to help them install this linoleum, she was overwhelmed. So when we told her we could come up there and do this job for her, she literally broke down in tears and was just amazed that there was somebody out there that would be willing to help them for free. So Rescue You took over. 1, 2, 3.
Rescue You! I wanted to come to this SPCA trip because when I went to Oklahoma, I just had so much fun.
One thing I wasn't expecting was the work days that are so long.
The animals here are awesome, absolutely wonderful. I haven't seen any that I'm like, wow, that's not a great dog. They all just want to jump in your lap. They're so loving and sweet, and they would love to go home with you.
The Luzerne trip was a great trip. We had about 10 of the 25 students that attended over spring break were what we call newbies. They had never been on a Rescue U trip before. They had no idea what they were getting themselves into and what they had done to give up their spring break on a beach. So it was an amazing trip with all these freshmen and sophomores that had never done this, and just working them from sunup to sundown when they could have been hanging out and enjoying their time off. It was just really neat to see them at first start grumbling and then just dive in and really take charge of the situation. And now they're hooked, as usual, and they can't wait to go on another trip.
It was so worth it to see all the kennels redone after we were done with the linoleum.
It's like going through boot camp together, you know. They have this work all day, work really hard mentality, and at the end, the camaraderie that these kids build with each other is just amazing. And to see the shelter staff really get pumped up and enthusiastic and fall in love with their own shelter all over again. It's always really neat to really bring the hope and just the enthusiasm back to the shelter staff.
The kids that came here this past week have done such a tremendous amount of work for the shelter. They've saved us thousands of dollars, hundreds of man hours, and we're really sad to see them go. We cannot thank PetFinder.com Foundation or the Animal Rescue Site enough for all that they've done.
As usual, Rescue U pulled through again for another shelter. Rescue U was in Oklahoma City over spring break this year. We had heard about that shelter actually from students that had gotten involved with us on Guthrie when we were there on our January trip. And they had been at that shelter volunteering from a club that they had at the University of Oklahoma. It's an amazing shelter, very, very high volume. I've never seen anything quite like it. They have over 200 kennels in this shelter, and their intake of animals is just overwhelming. Almost all of their kennels are strictly indoor, and that doesn't give a lot of time and a lot of outdoor space for these animals to get out, get some fresh air, and just stretch their legs. And so the big goal for the Oklahoma City trip this spring break was to make some pens where these dogs and animals could get out there and really have some fun and get rid of some of that pent-up frustration and energy of being stuck in a small kennel all day. We told them with that small space that they have that we could put 5 or 6 new outdoor huge runs in there and deal with their water drainage problems that they had in the areas that were not utilizable. They were overwhelmed. I mean, what that means to them and the ability for them to save more animals and get more animals adopted, because they'll just be infinitely more patient and calm when potential adopters come. They saw right away what that would mean to them and what it would mean for their animals, and they were just overwhelmed.
Hi, my name is Liz McLean. I came out today because I'm one of the volunteers here at the OKC shelter, and a buddy dog is not an adoptable dog, so having these new pens is going to be really awesome. Thank you guys so much.
We had an incredible opportunity on this Oklahoma City trip to work with some of the people from Tinker Air Force Base, and it was a neat change of pace. I mean, they're still college-age kids. They have that enthusiasm, that will and drive to help animals, but it was just an avenue that we had never explored before. But these guys came out sometimes 20, 25 every day and helped us out, and it was just amazing. They had such a great time doing it, and it was just neat seeing the military people work together with the college students in perfect harmony and have a great time, and we just got so much done in such a short amount of time without all those extra volunteers that we never would have been able to do. So it was a great trip. The executive director at the Oklahoma City Build was just so overwhelmed, such a nice, quiet, laid-back, very reserved guy, and so to see him be bubbling over with enthusiasm was just so neat. He was just so happy, and just they knew that this burden was going to be lifted, that instead of being only able to get a dog outside for maybe 2 hours a week, they knew that they were going to be able to get the majority of their animals out there every day, getting some fresh air, getting to stretch their legs. And all the volunteers and everybody on the last day were just They were so great.
So, on behalf of the Oklahoma City Shelter, we would like to give you this lovely card. Because, guys, even though you guys have given us way more.
Oh no, this is awesome.
Yeah, thank you. It really does mean a lot.
Coming up after these messages, from Oklahoma all the way to Tennessee. What are we doing there? Stay tuned.
And I'm dreaming of my home.
Hey, we're here! Finally! We made it, as you can tell from the barking. Unloading the truck. The kids should be here in a couple of days. Today we're going to set some forms to get ready for our concrete that's coming in tomorrow. Should be awesome. Can't wait. We are building our largest cat house to date. It's going to be huge, complete with a playroom, outdoor play yards. We're definitely going to take these cats out of these cages that you see here and get them some fun outdoor time. We're really looking forward to it.
This is Aggie. We think she's 6 years old. She was a cruelty case. A bank foreclosed on a house, and when the banker went to the house to see about the foreclosure, they found Aggie here. She was 61 pounds in the backyard, and she had trauma to her trachea from pulling on the chain they had her tied up to in the backyard. And yeah, so they brought her into the shelter about 2 months ago, and she's since put on 20 pounds, and she is just the sweetest little thing I've met in a long time.
All right, guys, so you know where we are. We're at the Humane Society in Jefferson County. Melissa's been running this shelter for about 20 months now, and it's really come a long way.
This is the first time since the shelter was built that we're actually financially stable, that we can function, and nothing new has been done since it was built in the 70s. So this was a great opportunity to improve it, try to get it where it's functional.
We were going to be on our honeymoon when all this was happening, and she wanted to be here for it, so we talked and we said, all right, fine, we'll bump it back a month. So, I mean, she's been here for 2 years and she's really turned the place around, and I'm kind of attached to it too. Yeah. So, it's exciting, to me at least. Happy to see all this happening.
I couldn't believe that something this great was going to happen to such a small little shelter in the middle of nowhere.
Dirt. Yeah, dirt it up. Dirting it up. We're building a greeting area for the dogs. So we gotta put all the poles in, and then when they set, we can put up all the chain link, and then when people want to meet the dogs, they just come out here and they get this nice little greeting area.
We'll play with them, and they'll be wonderful, and they'll get adopted and be happy forever.
I go to school at Delaware Valley College. I will be a sophomore coming up in the fall. I came down here to help the animals. I love animals and the ability to help improve the living conditions here in the South, to be able to help the shelter to save more animals. Getting to meet new people is awesome, because some of these people I go to school with, some are people we pick up along the way, others are other groups that just hear about us and want to join in.
This crazy pack of people that you have here, we've got Delaware Valley College. Where are you from, Miss Sarah?
I went to Kutztown, but I'm from Scranton.
From Scranton, Kutztown. Awesome. She's from Michigan State. That's Miss Julia. Yako's already graduated. Where are you from? I'm from Tennessee. There you go. We got local, we got far, we got wide, we got it all.
I go to school in Knoxville, of course, which is like 25-30 minutes from here. This is my first trip with Rescue U. I attend UT College of Veterinary Medicine. I've done some spay-neuter clinics before, but nothing quite like this. No rehabbing any shelters, but this is really neat.
Too many kittens. Hi.
It's wonderful to see them caring so much. One of the biggest problems with running a shelter is a lot of people just don't understand what we do or why we have to do what we do. And I think if we can educate the next generation coming up, that maybe there's hope for a change.
You're warm up here,
Oh,
but
cold
down there.
I have goosebumps. I have goosebumps.
Cold.
It's so cold. But it was ridiculous.
It was so hot earlier.
We're gonna get rained on right over there in about 5 minutes. totally called that though with the whole 5 minutes.
You guys,
I called it.
Aw, they're working in the rain. They're so dedicated.
And you?
Yeah, I'm painting inside.
Because of the rain, we got to pack everything up tonight and get it out of the rain so no one gets electrocuted or it's super wet.
And I'm dreaming of my home.
The house was foreclosed and the bank inspector went there, and that's when he found Aggie and Drake tied up in the backyard, and when he went inside he found a box of kittens. The mom was laying in there dead with all the kittens but him. He was the only one alive. So he brought us the kitten and the 2 dogs. He was about a week old, 2 weeks old in that area. We bottle fed him and he was doing wonderful, and after that he just went downhill.
And I'm just syringing a little bit in his mouth at a time. He's pretty good about swallowing it. So I'm hoping if I can get some food in him, he'll start to feel better. Hey, buddy.
In this shelter right now, they have about the space for approximately 40 cats, but it is springtime, so every day more kittens, more cats coming in pregnant, coming in with kittens already, so it can be overwhelming for them for sure. So getting them out, getting them that extra space in the cattery is really, really going to help them out.
Right now our cats are located kind of in the main lobby area, so anybody who comes in, any dogs, anything that happens, has to go directly through the cats, which is incredibly stressful for them. They're already scared, freaked out, and then having all this attention on them. So having a separate room should really help calm them down health-wise, be less stressful, less problems for them. So we're looking forward to that, having a separate building for the cats.
So you're going to come right out of the puppy room and you will walk right into the cattery, okay? The door for the cattery will be right here. All the cages will go in there so they can get the cats out away from the dogs, really lower the stress level, which will again help with the health, both mental and physical. Off the back side of the cat house, we're going to put in 2 outdoor cat play areas. Lots of studies have been done on what you can really do to help the mental health of cats in shelters, and one of the things is getting them some outdoor time, getting them more sunlight, just getting them some space, putting them in something that's a little bit more natural. So those outdoor play areas become crucial. You can see we've already poured the concrete slab for that, and we are getting ready to frame it in and get those walls up. It's going to be exciting. Unfortunately, the rain was the tip of the iceberg, and then the thunderstorm came in. We had to pull the kids off the job early, get them out of the thunder, and hopefully out of the lightning. Always drama. There's always something on every job site that we have, and the rain is no exception. So hopefully the gray that you're seeing here is going to clear up and blow away and give us a break so we can do some work today.
We're very fortunate because our team is very skilled at what they do. I mean, when you say master carpenter, I mean, that really truly defines JB. I mean, he's built these multi-million-dollar shingled estates, I mean, because his work is really that high quality. Brenna had mentioned that a cat sanctuary or cat shelter with a play area would really be needed, and it just fit perfectly with what we do. So, you know, we said we can come down here for a few days. JB is actually staying an extra day. He's supposed to be in Vegas with his friends, and so he's staying another extra day just to get it all done. But I mean, it's amazing what they have done in essentially 2 days.
My aunt, who does a lot of volunteer work at the Morristown Animal Shelter, was looking for me a little orange kitten, and they just did not get any in Morristown. I don't know why, but and she had told me to go to petfinder.com, and I logged on, and you all had like 3 little orange kittens. So I come down. I've got all kinds of friends that's wanting kittens, so I'm gonna send them this way. So
I'm gonna have my Shih Tzu fixed on the 4th. So of course, when I brought the paperwork in to fill out, I had to go around and look, and when I seen her, that was it. I think it's awesome. I mean, it looks wonderful what y'all are doing.
So you saw the place obviously before?
Oh yes, yes.
What do you think?
Oh, a huge difference.
So it was a happy day here at the shelter. We got a kitten adopted. We got a cat adopted. It was amazing. Happy story, loved it. Downside is, as the paperwork was being filled out for the cat going out, 3 more came in. Please, people, spay and neuter your animals. My kids are baking out here. They're dying. We let them work 20 minutes, they rest 10 minutes, which actually turns into they work 20 minutes, they rest 20 minutes.
I'm so uncomfortable. We're doing our best to keep these kids safe, cutting off a lot of jeans today, making a lot of popsicles. We're headed out to get extra ice so that we can keep these kids working and safe. We don't have time to stop for sure, but it's a record heat in Tennessee, and all I can tell you is, whoa, it's hot down here. But we're gonna finish up anyway.
So are these your favorite jeans?
Not anymore.
Two days ago, we were flooded with rain. Right now, as humid as could be, but we're still pushing through. The roof is unbelievably hot up there today, and I could not stay hydrated enough. But we decided that we're gonna get it done tonight while the sun's going down, and tomorrow morning when the sun's on the other side of the roof we're working on.
Now you look a little sunburned. Did you not wear protection?
I did. That's how hot it was up on the roof.
Turn around, let me see the sunburn.
Looking good.
And as always, the girls like you wearing, you know, barely nothing up there and sweating.
Right, well the shirt might come off, we'll see.
Hey, who wants a water? Yes. Yes, Ninja. Yeah.
And I'm dreaming of my home.
Oh, this heat is brutal. Sunburned, hand burns. You can't pick anything up, anything metal.
How you guys doing on waters over there? Doing good?
It was really, really freaking hot. Like, I drank a lot of water and did not go to the bathroom a lot. That's how hot it was.
It's like work 10 minutes in the shade for 20, kind of. If not, I'm just sitting there pouring bottles of water on my head.
Scorching. Deadly.
We're just gonna work through it, you know, cutting off our pants and rolling up our sleeves.
I'm trying to keep my head up and tell myself that it's all worth it in the end. That's what I think of this heat.
It's hot out here, but we keep it on and doing what we need to do and repair the shelters the best we can and help out. You're my hero.
It is so hot. I do not like this heat.
I think this heat is god awful.
Oh, it's a little splotchy. Makes you look like you got six-pack abs.
On the bright side, getting the kids off the job early tonight and hopefully into the pool.
How you feeling?
Pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How's it feel to finally be in the cool water and out of that sun?
So much better than being in the hot sun. So much better. It's nice at the end of the day.
So we're here in Jefferson City, Tennessee, which you know is the volunteer state. And I gotta tell you, this job would not be possible if we didn't have the awesome local volunteer support that we've had. They have done everything from helping build the cat house, roof the cat house. Without their concrete finishers, we would have been dead in the water. We've poured so much concrete and they have just bailed us out. Digging drainage ditches. I just can't say enough thanks to them. There's some of them here actually right now that are from the vet school up in Knoxville. So they are fabulous and we couldn't do it without them.
We're members of the FCE Club. FCE stands for Family, Community, and Education. The Humane Society is one of our groups that we help.
We brought sandwiches. There's about 3 or 4 different kinds of sandwiches. We brought chips, we brought fruit, we brought cakes and fudge and other desserts and some water. English Mountain Water had contributed 10 cases of water on Monday. I brought it and then we brought some today.
I think it's just wonderful that young people will give their time and effort and energy to something like this.
I think that this will help tremendously and it will help the citizens of Jefferson County and the animals in our care for years to come because they have come and done this. It's a remarkable thing.
I'm a volunteer here at the Humane Society on a pretty much weekly basis when I go to school here. I've had some pretty good ninja moves up on the roof with the guys throwing them water bottles today. Meeting all the people has been really fun. I always remember going on Pet Finder when I was little with my mom looking for animals, and now to actually meet people that were here from the actual Pet Finder Foundation kind of was like I don't know, it's like meeting Morgan Freeman. I love being here, I love helping out. I go to college at Carson Newman. I'm currently a theater major, but after coming here for maybe about 2 months, almost solidly every day, I decided that, you know what, theater isn't where I'm supposed to be. That is where I'm gonna go, working in a Humane Society.
Come here, buddy.
And I'm dreaming of my home.
It's Memorial Day, shelter's closed, and these people show up.
Somebody said the shelter's closed, and I thought to myself, no. These people want to adopt an animal. They are here as a family. Adoption comes first. We're here for these pets first. Building is really important, but if I had to stop 20 people to find a dog a home today, why on earth, when we have a family this great, wouldn't I want to keep this family here with this dog so they can say, I adopted my family member from the Jefferson Humane Society in Jefferson County.
My name's George Diaz. I just recently moved to Dandridge.
Just recently, huh?
Yes, I just came back from Afghanistan. We did have a dog unit right beside us, right beside our tent. They're a canine unit. I think that's probably what motivated me to get a dog. Just seeing them and their bond with their owners. I showed something that I didn't have, and I think a dog could help me with that. And I know my son's going to enjoy a dog with us.
What do you think you should name the dog?
Slobber. Come here, Slobber.
This is a huge addition to the shelter. This is a meet and greet area that they've built. So as you can see, we've been able to take Slobber to be out to the new exercise pen so that he can spend a quiet visit with the family, not stressed out, no other dogs interrupting it, and they can actually be by themselves and take the time that they need to decipher which dog would be the best to come into their family. This time it was love at first sight. Gave them a chance to actually play with him and get to see him act like his natural self.
It's great. You don't get as much of experience when you're petting the dog through the fence. And actually having this personal face-to-face interaction with the dog, it really turned my head towards going towards adopting the dog.
If this job is not done by 5 o'clock, I don't care if you want to go to the pool. That is not why you came to Tennessee, okay? So guys, seriously, gotta get done. And it's bologna and cheese for lunch, I'm sorry.
I just want to give a big thank you to the Animal Rescue Site, the Pet Finder Foundation, and Rescue You for doing this. Without them, the shelter would probably be falling apart around us. I mean, they've really helped us, and they're really helping us to save even more animals.
And after these messages, you've seen what we've done for dogs and cats, but what are we doing for birds? Find out next.
And I'm dreaming of my home.
This is Rupert. Come here. Come here. You said, oh, you're going to sit by me? Come here and say hello. How are you doing? We help about 2,000 injured and orphaned birds a year. We have some that come in and never leave. I was putting boxes in the shed from outside, and the rain started pouring really hard, and all of a sudden the roof just came off the building that I was in. And I then was concerned about the animals out here and what was happening with the wind that we had. And all the cages we'd built and everything we had done was destroyed. All the pins were lifted up. Some of them were over the fence. We found some of them in the field. They, you know, it was just like a tornado came through and destroyed everything. But anyway, I was here working and Sandy called me in and she said, oh, come in and sit down. And I'm like, just tell me what it is, you know. She said, well, you got the grant, the Pet Finder grant. She hadn't told me how much it was yet. She goes, well, you know, it's $60,000. And I was like, oh my God, wow. Because that's an incredible amount of money for us. We don't even get that much money in a year for donations. You know, originally I thought they would just give you the money and we'd pay to have a barn built. And then when we found out they would come down and do the work and all that, we were really excited. I don't get too overly excited about many things. But it was a pretty big deal for us.
walls up on the barn. Right now they're sheathing the barn with our exterior material. So right now all we're waiting on is for the frost to get off that roof so we can get up there and put some shingles on this new building that we have. What we're gonna do for them is divide this up into two little sections. They'll have the main area where the birds can hang out and get out of the bad weather. And back over there we're gonna put a wall up and give them some storage space. Storage is always, like I said, a huge issue at shelters, so we're gonna try to help them out a little bit by giving them more room.
So this is we actually call it the Gimpy Duck Yard. And this is basically where more of the crippled birds go. Most of them are missing feet, or some are missing their legs, but there's a couple that just don't get around really well. So we do put new birds out here when they come out of the hospital if they're limping. Then once they get better, we transition them out into the other yard. He was just being used for target practice by kids in the neighborhood, so he ran in the street trying to get away from them, and he had a lot of damage to his legs from pellets that were under his skin, and some of them were under his tendons, and so he walks kind of funny.
When this thaws out, it becomes muck that is up over the tops of your boots. Absolutely disgusting. So we're gonna need to get the bobcat back here, put in a swale and a berm, and see if we can't run some of this water away from where these people need to be working.
We had gotten a call from another wildlife center. They had this crow, he was missing his beak, and they were trying to place him because we wouldn't release him that way. Plus he's got a little bit of a bad wing. We were just talking to the vet how he couldn't play with the toys and he couldn't do the foraging because of the fact there was no beak there. He said, well, let's try a beak on him. He said, I would do that just for the fun of it. And so we brought him down and tried it, and then he got out of surgery and immediately started picking up food. You can kind of see the wire frame here a little bit. See that here where the silver marks are? Right. That's actually, it almost looks like a robotic beak underneath.
We're actually running 1,500 feet of chain link, and you see the guys behind me that are starting to get that done. We've already got the poles in, we've got the wire strung, and now we're starting to get the actual chain link up on these fences.
He doesn't think he's a turkey, he thinks he's a person, and that's one of the unique things about birds is that you really can't do it with dogs and cats, but birds imprint. So when they're born, the first thing they see in general is what they associate with what they are. So when Mr. T was born, when somebody hatched him, he saw people and they raised him up and kept him as a pet. And then he was abandoned when he was bigger because people do that a lot, and then the people just don't realize when they raise them in a house that when they get to a state where normally a bird would be in the wild by itself, they think it's okay just to let him go. And so he was turned loose and just started following people around, and that's how we picked him up.
And I'm dreaming of my home.
This is not recreational day at Rescue U. This is a mode of transportation to the island that you see behind me. What they have here is one of their many ponds that they have on their property. And the island in the center is actually set up to be like a predator protection island, so that should a raccoon or a fox get in here, the ducks and the geese can get out to the island and get a little bit more safe distance between them and whatever predator it is. This is how we have to get all of our materials out to that island to build yet another feeding station for the ducks.
You have these college kids who are giving up their winter vacation, New Year's, to come out here and volunteer. I mean, just what does that mean to you?
It's really cool. I mean, I have 2 teenagers, and I couldn't get them to put out this kind of effort. So when she said college kids, at first I thought, oh boy, because I got to chase mine down and put them to work. But we've just been blown away by these kids. They're so dedicated and so hardworking, and I think it definitely gives us some hope for our youth here. That you know, there's definitely some. They have an incredible work ethic. It's really been heartwarming to see them all put in the effort and to give up their whole vacations, and they work every day, all day, sun up to sundown. So we just have been blown away by their efforts here.
Today we have our gourmet meatloaf with brown sugar and ketchup.
What do you think about having all these college kids out here slaving away?
They're the most wonderful thing that's happened to us in a long time.
Yeah.
And we're so pleased that they could make it down and hope they enjoyed being down here.
So we're looking for volunteers in the kitchen to help prepare for the lunch and the cleanup, you know, and I thought, I can do this. You know, I've done this many, many years, so yeah, it's been delightful. But I think we've done well. I think they've had some really, really, really nice meals. This is, I think, a great experience because it will give them an appreciation for the wildlife, and hopefully they will carry on through their older years of volunteering.
I've done the fencing. Well, I dug some of the holes. I fixed some of the fence line in the backwoods. Carried the concrete actually out into the woods for some of the girls.
It's your first trip. What's the experience been like?
Hard, kind of sore. We did a lot of privacy fencing, so we cemented holes, carried 50 pounds of cement like over half a mile in really rocky terrain. That was awesome.
It's cool because the birds need help and they need someone to take care of them when they're sick like this. So it's cool to have a place for it.
Yeah, this was something I never knew was even a need, honestly. And to see how many animals here would probably either be in a lot of pain or dead were it not for Carolina Waterfowl Rescue is just incredible.
I dug for 3 days straight, and every moment Bryn could, she made fun of me. It's a lot of backbreaking work, but I mean, all the differences that's being made just because of the clay, it's really going to be a great thing after we leave.
We were trying to get Dan to work faster out on that island back there, and we had a bet going that he couldn't dig one hole in the time that it took me to dig 2 holes. And I dug a 16-inch hole down in the time that it took him to fix a hole that he had already dug the day before.
And I'm dreaming of my home.
Here we are on our second to last day. You know how these trips go. Everything's getting a little tight with time. We got tons of work that needs to be done still. So we have put in every effort to get every volunteer we can. We've even got Tim Coonan, the CEO of Animal Rescue Site here, rolling up his sleeves, getting dirty to help us out. As always, we appreciate the funding and the sponsorship from ARS, but boy, today I even appreciate the volunteerism even more.
Built some feeding boxes and I moved them to an island. We were digging drainage ditches and then lining them with grass to filter the sediment out of them, and then rerouting them in through this pond for the couple of settlement ponds. It's really special to see the work being done here. I think we have, obviously, the work that they're doing here is amazing. We are honored to be able to help. Our customers and clickers and donors have really made a huge contribution. I also think that the real contribution is going to be seen by what happens with the young people who work here and what they do later on with their lives, because I see enormous impact for them as well as for the animals and for the community. So we are honored to be able to help the Rescue U and to help the Wildfowl Center here and to be able to make a contribution. I mean, that's why the Animal Rescue Site exists, and is to help all animals and to help rescue animals and to see all the birds here and to see the one-legged birds that have been rehabilitated or with prosthetic limbs or prosthetic bills, to see animals that would otherwise be euthanized allowed to live out their lives in peace. This is a very special place here, and I'm very sorry that the tornado hit here, but I'm pleased that we've been able to make a little difference, and that the volunteers for Rescue U have made big differences. So if people are considering a Rescue U trip in the future, considering volunteering, it seems to me that it's really, really worthwhile. You have real impact, you get to meet really special people, and have impact that lasts for decades after you leave. So we're honored to help you.
And I'm dreaming of my home.
Where do you want it?
That's good right there.
It's the final days, and everyone here, all the volunteers and staff, are working as hard as they can to get everything done.
Seriously, when we set up this job and we did this, I honest to God, I didn't think we'd get that back 1,500 feet of fence in. This is just bonus because we found a little extra tweaking money room in the budget. Thank you, ARS. Basically, what I want to get done up front here is we need to get all the fittings on, we need to get the poles on, the poles cut, the wire pulled. But if you girls can really get cranking on that, we still got to get a second coat of paint on most of the trim, I believe. We got to get the sheathing up inside and the FRP up inside. The dump truck's going to be coming, I have no idea when, but pretty soon with all the gravel. So you guys who are setting up and painting, you have got to keep your junk off of this area. So first things first, take you, Wheezy, and move those rolls of chain link into the duck pen. Dan hasn't done any chain link this whole trip.
Yeah, Dan.
And he would cry. Did you see how upset he was that he hasn't got to do chain link? He was like, yes, I get to do chain link, finally. I've been waiting all trip. Okay, so you guys know what you're doing? Get her onions. Let's do this so we can get home and get clean and not have to go out to dinner all dirty.
This grass doesn't look too healthy to me.
It's because it's dormant right now.
Oh, it's dormant?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It'll spring back to life as soon as it warms up and gets a lot of water.
The
mud's pretty much like ankle deep, and the first few days it actually rained, and it was ridiculous. It sucked the bottom of my shoe off.
If we have time, and I think this would be a perfect job for you, is moving the chain link rolls with the Bobcat.
Bryn's gonna teach me how to use the Bobcat, which I've been trying to nag her for to learn how to use for the past week. So I'm hoping that I get to use that.
When I was in Oklahoma, that was my first trip, I hated it. Like, it was so bad. And then I went home and I only remembered all the fun I had, and it was just awesome. And I was like, I could not wait to get on another one. And now they can't get rid of me.
The past two Kentucky and Tennessee trips, I couldn't go because of work. And it actually really upset me, because this is one thing that this is my thing. My family knows that this is what I do over my winter breaks, what I do over my summer break. So my family knows this is what I do, and you know, it's a great thing to do.
We have just been blown away by these kids. They are so dedicated and so hardworking, and I think it definitely gives us some hope for our youth here.
Every college kid should be required to do this, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Great appreciation for life.
Yeah.
I also think that the real contribution is going to be seen by what happens with the young people who work here and what they do later on with their lives, because I see enormous impact for them as well as for the animals and for the community.
In addition to all the really great projects that we're doing over this 2-week process, we'd also like to present you guys with a check for $5,000 to go into care and feeding and anything that you may need as we depart from your awesome shelter. We just wanted to say thanks for letting us come. We had a great time, and we just really hope you enjoy what we've done here.
Yes, we really appreciate it. That's awesome. And all your guys' work. We're gonna miss everybody.
So on behalf of Rescue You and the Animal Rescue Site and the Pet Finder Foundation, here's money to continue your great work. We've been a lot of places with our Rescue You program, and didn't really quite know what to expect with the waterfowl rescue, and you do an amazing job, and you do a great job adopting out and caring for these birds, and we're just thrilled to be able to be here with you.
We appreciate it. Thank you. We really needed the help, and like I said, we get overlooked a lot because we do non-traditional animals, so it's really been amazing to have you guys here and helping us. That I wasn't expecting at all, and we do struggle with getting donations, and like I've mentioned before, getting grants and getting help, so we really can use the donation, and so it's very much appreciated, and we'll put it to some good use here, and 100% of our money goes directly to the animals. We don't pay any of our people here or really fund anything else. It will all go directly to these animals here, so it's money well spent. A big thanks to Rescue You, the Pet Finder Foundation, and the Animal Rescue Site for being out here and helping us with all the hard work and our grant. You're gonna definitely help us save hundreds of birds, thousands of birds every year with our new barn, and we couldn't have done it without you.
Rescue You wouldn't be possible without the support from the Animal Rescue Site audience. Click every day, shop, donate to our Gifts That Give More program, and volunteer in your community to help animals.
You see any of our videos and you like the stories that you hear about Rescue You and you think this is something that you'd be willing to do to give up some of your time to help animals in need everywhere, we would love to have a Rescue You chapter in every state. We'd love to have a Rescue You chapter. It is our dream at every college that we can. If you want to help Rescue You save millions of animals, it's really easy. If you've got friends and you've got time, go to our website. It's as easy as clicking on our website, filling out an application to start your own chapter at your own university. The animals out there need you, the shelters out there need you. So please, take the time, go check out our website. It's a lot of fun. I promise you won't be disappointed.
In a place with no flashing lights, sunny days and endless nights, it's paradise. A place where summer never ends. This vision's got me hypnotized. Hope I never realize it's just a dream. Can't take away my place in the sun. Figment of my imagination, there's no use to resist temptation, 'cause nothing can hurt me while I'm here. And I'm sleeping, and I'm sleeping. No evil can catch up with me, and I won't hit the ground 'cause I'm flying higher than the clouds in the sky. And there's no point to interpret this, 'cause I'm in the place that I've given me, and there's no one here but who I want to be. We're kicking rocks on that dusty road, and everything is just like it used to be. So help me find my home, and help me find my home, and help me find my home. And I'm dreaming of my home.